Good evening, RPG Limit Break. Welcome to our second race of Week 3 in this Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League 2025. We have 4 racers tonight. We have Kiglis, we have Destiny, we have Ragai, and we have Sandcraft. I am Cyberdark86. Joining me tonight in the booth is Mand. How are you doing, Mand?
Doing very well. Speaking of doing well, these racers are all in Group 3, which has required a win and a second place, so they're in very good position to be in the playoffs if they get a good result out of this race.
Indeed, they are. As well, tonight we have Schmike and Beta Strip tracking for us, and we have High Spirits restreaming. It's going to be a fun one, I think. We've got Vanilla Flags, or Neapolitanish, I think we're calling it. Vanilla map, vanilla zones, vanilla abilities, vanilla spells. But three's company, so I doubt we'll see a Dragon Lord kill tonight.
Yeah, the name of the end game has generally been find the lowest possible level and try to go on that. Kind of like a weird game of Price is Right.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
I don't remember. Anyway. The other thing to keep in mind is Permanent Repel is also on this week, and that is going to throw a potential wrench into the early game plans.
Yep, the more defense you get, the harder it's going to be to kill those easy enemies. So we want defense in in-game, but we have no defense in early game. Could end up with Erdrick's armor in the throne room. That wouldn't be good. But our runners have decided that if it's there, they're playing anyway.
Yeah, one thing to note, stats don't quite show it yet, but will in a moment. It does look like they've got...
Aw.
Oh!
Reseed?
I don't think they're going to ask for it. I was going to say, it looks like they got 7 DP, so they are going to be repelling away both slimes, which could be a really big issue in the beginning game, because, you know, the vanilla zones, mostly slimes.
Yeah, let's start though.
That said, they won't care at all. Oh, no, okay. I thought they would be repelling slimes, but maybe I have that wrong. Oh, right, it needs to be over, not tied.
Well, we got our Cantland start, which means it's a good distance to a town. Of course, we do have some decent attack. I think we're rocking 46 attack right now, 48 in some cases.
Yeah, I as chat noting, I really like Ragai's start. Just go out and find big enemy.
Gigalus is playing Agility MP? Wow.
I don't dislike it. The agility can also sometimes be useful for lowering your agility in the opening, although obviously in this case doesn't really matter.
True enough, and it's certainly better for in-game because you're trying to walk through Sherlock without getting hit at all. If you have the higher agility.
Sandcraft finding a DK over there in the diagonal.
Yep, I think one step to the southeast of that sea, or well, you in this case, I guess, will put you in that zone.
Yeah, it's even with Erdrick's sword, it's going to be a while before that's something they really want to tangle with. Ragai also got killed by one trying to explore, and we'll just go right back to it. So far, he's the only one trying that explorer, and it has netted him a little bit of an experience lead, although Sandcraft is, I think, cutting into it right here. Oh,
yeah,
and
we do have Ragai in a fairly new zone here, I think.
I think it's the same zone that he got killed in before, and the DK again bops him.
Yeah, once you get that far outside of Cantland, down towards that bridge, in that forest, really, you're in one of the vanilla zones, I believe. The north, south, east, and west zones are in Cantland should be zones 0, 1, and 2. After that, everything goes back to normal.
Speaking of zones, since it's vanilla zone, we know that zone with the DK, well, both of those zones we've seen with the DK have to be one of either 3 zones, I think. And all of them have some pretty nice juicy enemies to fight, just not quite yet.
for sure. And we have vanilla spells this week, so our runners are on roughly level 4, which will have them heal and hurt. Heal more may not be seen, hurt more very unlikely, because they'd be 17 and 19.
Yeah, it would take really depressed stats for hurt more to happen in any of the seeds this week. So it looks like all the racers are now trying to explore out a bit. And of course, vanilla abilities, so that Magic River and Kigglish just ran into has sleep and did get him with it.
Yeah, looks like the knight is blocking the knight and the demon knight are both blocking the way to exit this zone here next to the bridge. Of course,
Yeah,
once you
this
get
is
across this bridge, you have to go straight north and hope there's something decent at the Hoxton zone.
This has just been a brutal opening so far. I mean, sword, so it's not that brutal, but in terms of trying to get out and explore, which all the racers are currently trying to do, it has not been kind. And we haven't seen any good mid-tier enemies, which is what you really want with sword in this HP value.
Yeah, you're looking for something like a wolf now, or, well, the warlocks, stuff like that.
Even going up a little bit and getting like a wolf lord would be fine. Just so far, I don't know that they've seen anything more than about 10 value.
So I seem to remember in a seed we did last year, probably the one I was in, on your way down to the bridge you have to cross, there's another bridge. If you go across that and just south one line, you're in a zone that you won't see anywhere else. So there might be something good there, but none of our runners have really gone down that way. The bridge just south of where Ragai is now.
Yeah, that technically there is a little bit of that across the bridge too, but it's almost all in grassland, and you almost certainly aren't going to get an enemy in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Ragai maneuvers over there to check that out after this zone.
You see Kiglis is straddling that one zone there. He won't go any more to the west because that would
Yeah,
put him in the zone with the knights and the demon knights.
very, very good. Oh, he's chancing it, and he does get a rogue scorpion. You can see that tempting him a little bit there. Looks like Ragai now in the same zone that Kiglis was just in.
Yeah, I know he saw ghosts in there, so I'm assuming it's an easier zone.
Yeah, I don't think any ghosts are in a zone that you'd really want to be in at this point, but obviously they haven't seen a zone they want to be in so far.
Yeah, magicians and scorpions and ghosts. So this is pretty close to home as normal. Oh, Ragai is going to try to the new zone. See if there's anything here. Hasn't found any enemies yet.
It would be very big for him since nobody else has checked, but it's
Oh.
a Demon Knight zone again.
Oh no.
And since he knows the zones, he knows that it is immediately now just a zone you can't fight at this point, and we'll just go right back to this. This is probably going to be the zone for the next like 2 or 3 levels, I think, because they just don't really have the gumption to get across that dangerous zone in the mountains, especially because that zone is mostly in mountains. Really, if you're going north from there, you have to pass through all that mountain, and it's really rough.
Sandcraft gets across the bridge, gets stop spelled by a knight, but can't get away from it.
Yeah, the stop spell is pretty nice to know they have because, I mean, obviously you always know they have it in this flag set, but what I mean is it's nice to be able to get away from them if they cast that stop spell, maybe failed once or twice, but the agility is just still not there.
Piglis and Raga up to level 6. Still not really much of a help. Good news is the defense is going up slowly, or agility is keeping low, so it's keeping some of those early enemies around.
Yeah. Right guy also gets the knight and gets back attack stop spelled, and on the other side of the screen, Sandcraft gets sent home by a Scorpion, but Right guy does get away. And then, oh, nearly Hero walked all the way to town, but still has a chance, and he makes it.
And it's coal. It does exist.
Potentially very rewarding. That said, you do already have the sword, so a lot less reward, and in fact, no reward.
So now, what do you do for armor? You don't need a sword or any weapon. You've already got that. You want to try to keep those early enemies around, so you can't put your defense too high.
It's rough, but that said, there are 2 more zones right here with high encounter tiles. There's the desert a little bit to the south west, and some mountains to the northwest. If he can make it through this zone, but he doesn't.
Yeah, close to a Sherlock zone there.
Yeah, that there was a werewolf inside the zone that Cantlin is in, or Cole is in. So that's really rough because he had a chance to finally, like, that's more than gear. That's really what you want right now. It's just to find one of these good zones. Since it's vanilla zones, if you find a zone with a Wolf Lord in it, you can kill everything in there at this point.
Yeah, and there's no real easy way to get to another zone. There's one tile, maybe. One forest tile on the way down through that you could get in. If you get around across the bridge and around the mountains, there is another zone there. But you're walking through the territory with demon knights, you know.
Yeah, the 3, honestly, the 3 easy zones that have high encounter towers are all past that bridge, and that has just been the stopgap. Destiny gonna try to run it. Looks like Sandcraft is as well. And Kiglis gets sent home, presumably by trying to run it. I didn't see where he was exactly, but he was fighting a Wraith Knight, so...
Ooh, Sandcraft trying to hurt race a knight.
I mean, with this agility, it's potentially more rewarding than trying to run, and he looks like he's gonna get it. He does.
Wow.
Doesn't quite shoot him into the experience lead, but it does send him quite a bit higher than he was. Won't be able to kill this, though. Okay, Kiglis is actually grinding in that zone across the bridge, which is a DK zone, but does have Wraith Knights, and he's just trying to take out the Wraith Knights here. Also, since he's level 7, he now got access to sleep, so that's really helping him along here.
Yeah, use your utility spells well here. You don't get a lot of them early, and we don't really care about repel because it's always on.
Oh, Sandcraft trying to break through that zone. I think that's one of the very few wyverns we've seen, and he manages to kill it pretty easily, and now he's absolutely in business. I think he just took the experience lead.
Yeah, I think he killed another one a few minutes ago, too.
So that'll give him sleep, and if he runs in another wyvern, he's going to have a party.
Raw guy gets level 7 and immediately takes off again.
Right guy also trying that wyvern does have the disadvantage of not being at full health right now, so this is a little bit dangerous, but he will get through it.
There's another zone just west of where Raga is now. I don't know if anyone's tried it yet.
Yeah, if I'm Ragai's been to Cole already. I'd probably just book it right to that zone, but he will not have the chance.
I mean, considering the enemies that we're finding, maybe it's worth getting that extra armor. And I mean, we don't have much gold anyway, I guess, but maybe it's worth getting something and helping fight those.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't turn down some armor right now. At the very least, that zone will be accessible to you for a while. The problem is, like you said, they have lost their money long ago. I don't know if they could. I don't know if they could buy a chainmail if they all cobbled together all their money. Oh no, wait, no. Sandcraft's got a bit, so he can maybe afford one soon.
Yeah, chainmail and small shield, maybe. Schmike's saying Cole's got half plate and small shield.
Yeah, Cole is one of those weapon shops that is kind of nice but kind of bad because it's got a low range of weapons but a high range of armors, and right now they've already got the best weapon in the game, so not really helping much.
Our guy uses his sleep to get away from that rogue scorpion and is in that other zone.
Meanwhile, Sandcraft hits level 8, and that gets up to 54 HP, and that is actually pretty game changing right now. He's with sword now, he can kind of race a lot of these enemies they're encountering.
The right guy did go right through one zone without seeing an enemy, got into another one and found a Star Wyvern again.
Oh man. Is this map just gonna be mostly Sharlock?
Could very well be. Beagle's got a Wraith Knight. Very nice, 72 experience.
Yeah, it's really gonna help him along. That said, right now, the clear forerunner in experience is Sandcraft. Another level for him, up to level 9. Once you get that HP boost, it really just becomes shooting season on all these enemies.
Oh, right, Wraith Knights have heal. Still, you should be able to power through with Erdrick's Sword.
Does that little bit of danger, and that little bit of danger takes Ragai out, though. What I find amusing is Sandcraft has been leveling here for basically all of his MP. I don't think he's actually gone north to see the town yet.
No, I don't think he's gotten that far. Destiny is in another zone, going through the swamp to Vanilla Token area. Finds that Magic Wyvern that casts sleep on him.
Yeah, not often you see a racer in this flag set try that, but the zones have been pretty garbage until you get that HP boost.
How difficult is Dragon Warrior? It's not a difficult game, it's a long game. It's very, very grindy. And also somewhat RNG heavy.
Sandcraft restores his resources and just goes right back to the grind. Or tries to. He keeps getting this werewolf and it keeps deciding he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, Werewolf a little high on the table for us yet. So yeah, in these flags, this start is probably one of the more difficult ones. It's not, impossible, but it's certainly one of the more difficult and slow starts. If you get a start, say, where Vanilla Tantagil is, or Breckenary, or even Garenham, or Tablet Cave, you've got a lot around you that you can get to really quick. But here, you have to grind your way out of it.
Yeah, there really isn't too many opportunities, especially with these zones, the way they've been, to get out easily. And speaking of that, Sandcraft gets taken out of the grind. by a DK that dodges, which is, of course, the danger with them.
Destiny now up in a zone that Raga has already tried. There's a green dragon and a star wyvern there. The wizards, which is below Cole. So we could be seeing all the easy zones just outside of Sherlock, and by the time we get there, we won't see anything anyway.
Yeah, that'll be the funny part. They'll all be repelled away. Oh man, and another death. I think the over-under for deaths this time is easily going to be 60 or so.
Combined, yeah, for sure. Sandcraft now at level 10.
And with that, another big, I think 2 big agility boosts on the last couple levels. The agility is now enough where, number 1, he's repelling a lot of the small enemies, like we mentioned. But number 2, pretty good odds to not get hit by some of these enemies quite as hard, and not get back attacked, and a lot of stuff like that that's really going to potentially make this grind a lot safer. That said, DK dodges you, DK dodges you.
Yeah, and it's going to do that a lot. Meanwhile, he takes it down, so this zone is really, really good now for grinding, I think. The Knight's going to have a lot of defense, though.
That said, that stop spell really helps out, because it functionally doesn't matter.
True, you could even start taking on the Magic Wyverns if you can get that stop spell.
Other racers not that far behind though, but right now nobody has decided to venture really beyond this section.
I think Sandcraft is going to stick here till at least 11, maybe.
Might be sticking here for outside, which comes at level 12.
Well, there's 11. Gonna get 1 more power, 12 more speed, 6 hit points, 7 in magic. Iglis hits level 10, Ragas still at 8, Destiny's still on 7, so Sandcraft is certainly taking a good experience lead here.
And the stat boost will keep chugging that along. Usually doesn't really speed things up too much if you don't get hurt more, and obviously nobody's probably getting hurt more, but the stats are going up so nicely, especially agility lately. Sandcraft is rocking about double the agility some of these racers are, and that's really going to help speed this along, that and the HP, and even a small but still noticeable strength gain compared to them.
Yeah, given the agility now and the HP, the attack power being at 99, you get up to Cole, buy up in that armor. You only want to start fighting the big stuff now.
Absolutely.
Sandcraft also has 2100 gold, so that would certainly do a half plate and a small shield.
Yeah, that'll be a really nice find. Obviously, it'll make it a little bit sad for us, since Sandcraft's exploration will basically just be him wandering around in the wilderness with no encounters. But it'll certainly be welcome to him, because, again, there's a lot of stuff that can kill you in this flag set, especially Magic Wyverns.
Iglis is getting close on 1500 experience as well, which will hit level 11.
Sandcraft nearly loses gold there to a green dragon, but will take it down and get the level, and that's level 12. I can't imagine he's staying any longer than that. Outside is about the only real reason you'd want to continue on.
Alright, let's see what happens in the shop here. Gonna take the small shield. And most likely the half plate. Yeah.
That puts Sandcraft up to 58, which will knock out a fair bit of enemies all the way up to the Wyvern.
Sandcraft going to be the first to go much further up than Cole here. There are multiple zones up here. Probably going to be some easier enemies. Not that he'll see them anymore anyway.
That said, so far it's just been all Charlotte continuing, but I think he's probably still in the same zone as the Cole zone, which is, I believe, Hawksness.
Yep, he should be high enough now that he's in a new zone.
And finds the first new location in a while. It is potentially a town, and it isn't actually a town, and it's keys.
Right, this is the first week in this league that we've needed keys. We've needed to buy keys or find them.
And this is actually a really interesting decision point. Home is really close with a bunch of chests and a cave. Do you want to go back from here, or do you want to continue on? Because if you continue on, you're hoping to do it in one fell swoop completely.
It looks like he's going to check the inn for sure. Oh, maybe the shop first.
Don't think there's anything in the shop that he can really buy because there's not a shield in Rim, annoyingly.
Oh, right, we have vanilla shops too this week.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And a gold fund.
Alright, we're in another new enemy zone here now.
And speaking of new, I believe that's maybe Destiny's first actual landing at Cole. Unfortunately, he now sees the zone around it.
Okay, so Sandcraft has walked through like 4 different zones there. Finds Garenham in its vanilla spot, but walked through 4 different enemy zones and never got one encounter. So they were all easy zones.
Yeah. We found all the good zones. They were up here. Whoopsie. Yeah.
So Raw Guy's been using that south zone to grind up, is almost at level 11. Kigless is up to level 12. Destiny has pretty much been sticking with the grinding lately and is at level 9.
Yeah, the thing that set Destiny a bit down is that he was trying for easier zones, and past a certain point, everyone else just decided to go all in on the tougher zones, and just, if they got a kill, great, and if they didn't, go back. So they got some big ticket items that really set them ahead and just kind of spiraled.
One of our first chests we're going to get here is a silver harp. Wow. Fairy water. And some more gold. Sandcraft did pick up a large shield here in Garenham. And we have a stones cave here. 1 free chest. It's a torch.
So Silver Heart, nothing else too useful, but now he's in a part where he's going to get a bunch of really quick locations all in a row. Ooh. And this could be a bit dangerous. This is going to be, we know exactly what this is an Axe Knight with Sleep. So he's going to have to...
Stop spell, so maybe. And we have sleep as
Yeah.
well.
Really just needs to get that stop spell off, and he does.
Wow. So we're hoping for these sleep casts so we get... Oh, and an excellent move. Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Our Stones of Sunlight. Second story item.
Meanwhile, don't look now. Kiglis also starting to break out, although he does run into a magic wyvern just outside of Rimeldar. Oh no! He slept it and tried to kill it, and then he got slept in return. Oh, but he wakes up really quickly. That was potentially Kiglis' life flashing before his eyes there.
Well, Brecken area moved west about, I don't know, 6 or 7 tiles. Kiglis now our second runner with keys.
Also finds Staff Trading Cave over here, so we'll get that done, which is always really nice to have in Vanillish under your belt. That's one of the dangers of not going back to Tanager is potentially Staff could have been under there, and that could have sent you on an entire journey across the continent without that trading under your belt. But now he knows exactly where it is because he's completed it.
So our runners are hoping that, I guess under Tanager would be Swamp Cave, Swamp North or South, which will bring you over to the other continent close to Sharlock.
Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping it's Grave.
Like if I'm vanilla Caitlyn start, my hope is Swamp is under Swamp is under Caitlyn. Swamp is under Tangel, and Caitlyn is on Second Continent, and then I just find Grave or Mountain out here in the wilderness as the last location, die in it, get a gold grind, and go right over to Caitlyn. Speaking of that, we saw Sandcraft spot a cave and then just nope out of even checking it.
We did check this cave. It's Tablet in the Vanilla Coal location. He's going to dive and see what he needs. He does have outside.
Yeah, that'll speed things along, but I think at this point, all the racers are likely to have it by the time they get there. I didn't see what that was.
That's Flute.
Oh, no. Well, it'll help on the spike, actually.
Yeah, our final spike tile in Sharlock is going to be Golem, so it certainly will help with that.
It's a bad flag set week for Flute unenjoyers.
Well, here's Grave up in Vanilla Staff Grade, I think.
Meanwhile, he's finding Grave. Kiglis makes it over to Garenham, and Ryguy makes it over to Rim. This is actually a really dangerous spot for Sandcraft right now because he didn't check that cave. He decided to nope out of checking it, so now he's just kind of hit by a bit of indecision.
He's gonna dive Grave, though.
Yeah, I think you have to in this case. Like, you really need armor. You obviously definitely need token.
Seems like level 11 was their breakout level for a Caitlyn start, at least in this this particular seed.
Yeah. Getting that big HP and agility boosts that start happening right around here are really nice.
Ooh, Ryguy finds a gold man, that'll help.
Fund the old coffers. Meanwhile, Final Chest of Grave is a very slow key fund.
Well, that 650 gold has been cut in half. It's a Demon Knight again.
They are just the worst.
So Sandcraft is heading for the last cave on this continent. If it's mountain, uh-oh.
It
And it
is.
is mountain. So that means Swamp Cave is in Tangential.
But I mean, that kind of works out here. The only downside is mountain. I think Sandcraft's a bit too high uh, power to die at a mountain. If you were going to take a dot death for the gold grind, Grave was really the location to do it in. That said, at this point, he's still in the absolute driver's seat. So
Did find a fighter's ring there in mountain. Ragai has a token. And found it in Tangential Treasury.
ah,
So the only thing Sandcraft could really find here would be Death Necklace or armor, of course.
so far just finding more key funds and some incidentals.
Looks like Swamp South was in Tangential, which is even better because you could just outside.
Yeah. Always the best placement. And the final chest in mountain is empty and either probably a key, I would imagine.
Probably an herb, I think. Or it could be a key. He did pick up a key in there somewhere, so that might have maxed him out, but I think it was an herb.
Okay, yeah, I know he picked up a key in Grave and a key in Mountain Cave, but it could be either one, honestly, and doesn't really matter too much. Oh, I just realized. Sandcraft doesn't. They don't have return yet, and Sandcraft doesn't have wings. Oh, this is rough. And since this is perma repel, he can't even get experience on the way back. He's just gonna have to walk all the way back to the hard zones, or technically, he'll just walk here and grab a wings.
So our rainbow drop can be picked up on the way to Sharlock because it is in Vanilla Rimbledar. And looks like Cantlin is all the way down south, where the rainbow drop would usually be.
Oh, right. Wings are only in Cole and Cantlin. I always forget that Breckenary doesn't have those. This is just a painful walk for Sandcraft. And what's going to be potentially even more painful here is technically armor isn't required in this, and if the coordinates do exist, they are armor. But if he goes for those coordinates and they are back to the northeast, that is just going to be icing on the cake of pain.
Well, let's see if we have some coordinates here. Then
Oh.
we'll go and search. Oh wow, 4 north, 5 west.
Okay, I don't know. I know. Before the race, you brought up the map. You're really gonna have to help me. Where in relation to the Cantlin start is this? How? Where are we talking? Like across a bridge? What?
It's literally just outside the barriers in the forest.
Absolutely dumb.
The armor was there all along.
If only one of our racers had just wandered around that forest, grabbing at blades of grass and tufts of tree, they could have found the armor before they even had to venture out and get into the hard zones.
Can you imagine if we had treasure guards on this week? We would have had it in like 2 minutes. If we could have killed the enemy, of course.
That would have been absolutely delicious. It's a shame it didn't happen.
Yeah, just crit farm, or I mean, you might have gotten an enemy that eventually you could use sleep or stop spell on, and everyone would know where it was.
Yeah.
It's actually in zone 0 as well, so you would have just found a green dragon randomly or something.
Something about this seems a little bit suspicious. Destiny, Sandcraft does make it back all the way to Cole and just elects to, rather than walk the rest of the way, buy the wings here, which is just painful. Speaking of that, meanwhile, Destiny is grabbing keys for the first time, I think, and Kigalus is deep diving Grave. Right now, experience is basically stagnated for everyone because exploring past these good zones, you literally I don't know that Sandcraft ran into more than like 2 enemies on the way to this, all these stuff in the northeast.
Yeah, it'll be a really nice walk to Charlotte when we do have to go. But for now, it's almost best to stick back here by Cole or even just south of home and grind around there. Actually, having armor, Raikai could do a vanilla Hawksness area grind to some extent.
The other thing to keep in mind is that with agility at 85, technically they don't need to go beyond here. It is definitely achievable to win at this level if you wanted to. It's just, dangerous. That said, this is vanilla abilities and vanilla zones, so red dragons are just all over the bottom of Charlotte Rock, and they have sleep, so technically you're never avoiding danger in this flag set.
So now I'm looking, Destiny is running an HP MP build, has 91 HP, 70 MP, 81 agility on level 13.
Yeah, like this,
That's pretty good if you can pick up armor.
the stats have very seldom been the thing to blame in the seed. Mostly it's just been the zones, but staff and sword should have made this seed trivial, but obviously the enemies had something to say about it.
For sure. So really, Sandcraft's still in a decent lead now, having all the story items. He's going for the princess, actually.
Actually, wait, now that I look... Oh, wait, Kiglis doesn't have... No, what did... Kiglis didn't get the... Oh, no. I don't remember where it was exactly off the top of my head, but Kiglis doesn't have the Stones of Sunlight.
Hawksness.
Oh. That's going to be a walk back.
Yeah, he's on second continent now, he's going to find the trading cave right here for the rainbow drop. Actually just ignored it once he saw a cave. I guess he's going for Cantlin to look for the coordinates.
Meanwhile, I think Sandcraft might be going for the win right here.
He's got to stop in here and pick up his rainbow drop. Is a level down. The stats are okay. I think 13 will be better, but what do you do?
Yeah, it's rough because if you want to grind, you have to go back out to the zones out near home, and even then, technically, if you're in a zone with, say, a Mad Ribbon, you might not make it out of there. Although, honestly, I don't know what his defense points are right now. It might be that he wouldn't be encountering them anyway.
75 defense. Looks like he's going to heal up here, then maybe go for it. Yeah, 77 HP. You take one good hit from a red dragon or an armored knight, and you've got to heal right away. So you might get heal lock bit of running.
Yeah, this is rough.
Well, Sandcraft doesn't have the armor.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, right, yeah. Although, to be fair, it's just going to be, like, he'll see this, and it's not going to be any time at all to just return and grab it.
Yeah, just return, go grab it, return again, or, well, I guess walk back home.
As long as he has wings, because he doesn't have return, there's going to be potentially a very slow walk out of these damage tiles.
Yeah, I think he did pick up wings in Cole.
Oh,
He's
okay.
just
right. Yeah, I guess
die, but he's got to go back through anyway. And
yeah. It's probably faster than walking out. Just a shame he didn't have wings there, because that would have made things the fastest.
There's that armor, so close to home.
So I think he's just going to go right back and do that again. Meanwhile, Kiglis, Destiny... I thought Destiny was grinding, but he was just making it somewhere. But Kiglis is definitely just grinding, wants more resources, I guess, before going for the Axe Knight.
Not sure why Destiny used the fairy water, considering Repel is always on right now.
Folks, stay hydrated.
A good thing to do.
So this is going to be a riskier dive than the others are taking, but Sandcraft is still in the position where he's the only one with all this homework done already, so...
It's a good thing we could just use outside here. I have a feeling he'll walk back down to Cantlin and probably heal up.
Yeah. The resources are slim enough, and second continent is barren enough where there's no reason really not to play it safe and grab that extra HP back, or MP back. Oh, not outsiding.
High Spirit's pointing out that one more dragon is a
Oh.
level.
That's not a bad decision then, yeah.
Ryguy just picked up his Stones of Sunlight.
So that's all the trading items done for him. I can't remember if Ryguy has armor yet.
Ryguy was the first armor, I think.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Or no, I think that was Kigalus that was the first armor.
One of the two.
Yeah, Ryguy rocking the lower DP value, so I think he still hasn't gotten it.
No, Ryguy was first, apparently. Oh, Ryguy doesn't have... actually, I think he did pick up a large shield there a couple of minutes ago.
Ah, okay.
Wait, Sandcraft put on a belt?
That could be bad.
Oh, instead of using the drop, he put on a belt. Oh, no. That's a
That-
long way to walk with it. Well, you've got Erdrick's armor, so you can heal if you happen to get knocked out. But you've got to walk all the way to Breckenary, which is in Vanilla
Yeah.
Tandagel. So it's halfway around the world to get uncursed, so you could go back through Swamp Cave.
That is potentially a like... I think Sandcraft maybe has to... If he wants to win this race, he has to win on this dive. I don't think he can afford to die here. He's certainly got the lead, but it isn't enough of a lead to overcome having to walk all the way to Breckenary and do all that.
Yeah, he'll likely be extra careful in this dive now. Ryguy is probably the closest to him.
Yeah, Ryguy probably just grinding up for level 13 here, I imagine. That extra HP boost at level 13 is probably going to do him fine. Although, speaking of that, Kig is grinding up past 14, seemingly. So that'll be level 13 for Ryguy. Curious to see what he'll do here. Yep, he's going for it.
Alright, we got a blue dragon blocking the way for Sandcraft. Gets away from it, though. This is one of those situations where you want to heal and stay up as high as you can.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I wouldn't have healed all the way to full there. HP ain't much, but it could be what saves your life in here, and...
Even 1 HP, but yeah, for sure. 85 plus at least.
Oh, chat noticing, Schmike and chat noticing Ryguy didn't get the flute.
Yeah, we have that golem spike. Maybe Ryguy thinks he can take it out anyway. We don't have heal more. Certainly going to be dicey. Just like that, Sandcraft is on the bottom floor.
Yeah, it's one of the upsides is a lot of early Sherlock is going to be a little bit easier. But the problem is now he's in Red Dragon's Ahoy Zone and Armor Knight's Ahoy Zone, but Red Dragons are obviously the scarier prospect between the two.
For sure.
That said, sheer walking is a good answer.
Okay, use that flute. That's the wings, not a flute.
Well, look, he really doesn't want to be here anymore, okay?
An excellent move. Wow.
Golem wakes up, but it isn't going to be long for this world after that crit.
Don't really have to heal here. Keep going.
That's the one advantage. The golem cannot
Now you have to heal.
dodge. That said,
Unless you know how much HP is left, you have to heal here. Okay, he knew he could take it out.
yeah, he was either tracking it or gambling on being just enough, and either way, it worked out.
Yep, heal
Now
all the way. You've got herbs. You've got lots of heal left. You could still run into a red dragon with sleep.
Yeah, there is no reason to be skimping on the resources here. Meanwhile, as he tries to get away from this armor knight, Ragai is making it along the road. Has just turned in, popped down the rainbow drop.
He's going to use every bit of heal he can.
And he gets
Now,
it.
we have to make sure you push the right button here. You have to accept the offer to do this. There we go. GG's.
GG's out in chat. That is Sandcraft with a win, taking him to a pretty commanding, I believe, 13 points so far after 3 weeks. Right guy right behind, on the same level though, does have the same worries, and all those red dragons that didn't want to show up for Sandcraft have got to be hiding around somewhere.
Sandcraft would end up with 13 points, yeah.
Meanwhile, Kigalus and Destiny both look like they're potentially going on 14 here. Or no, it looks like Destiny is grinding still.
Question from Clefairy in chat here. You have to reach the Dragon Lord to win. So Three's company flag is on, which means you pick up the princess and you accept the offer, which normally would basically softlock the game. You accept that offer with Gwaelin in your arms, and that actually triggers the win condition. One of 3 win conditions in this version, and 4 win conditions overall. Maybe 5.
Yeah, technically you can still fight the Dragon Lord to win, but why?
Yeah, you'd need heal more for that, so you'd have to grind to at least level 17. And if someone else decides to go early, well, you know.
Ryguy also looks like he's grinding to 15, although Destiny looks like he maybe stopped the grind.
And that sounds like Sandcraft. GG.
Thank you.
We did see a belt get put on, right?
Absolutely.
Well, then it's lucky you got that on that dive.
Yeah, I was definitely hoping it was first try because it was a long walk to Breckenary, and I don't know, I've been having trouble with my controller. It keeps hitting down a couple more times, but should have changed it.
Yeah, I think I saw you try to use wings there too.
Yeah, a couple times.
Beta just noting in chat that you did that just as, you know, a psychological thing to, you know, hype yourself up. That way you couldn't lose.
Yeah, I was like, we're going once and that's it, and better work.
So that start, that Cantland start, eh?
Yeah, that was kind of a rough one. I didn't know if I was repelling or not. I wasn't even sure. I didn't have anything in front of me to show me that, but yeah, it was definitely something. And then as soon as you walked into the next zone, it was killer fest. So yeah, kind of tough.
And with the armor right there the whole time.
Yeah, no doubt. But I guess I just crit my way through.
Speaking of armor, it looks like Destiny's decided not to go back for it and they're just going to try with the full plate.
Destiny's defense is 78, so I mean, it's only 2 less than Sandcraft had, so
Gonna be rough getting through those damage tiles, especially though.
Yeah, the damage tiles are the worst here. I mean, if you got full herbs, you've got a lot of MP. All depends on your encounter rate. And Sandcraft, I think your encounter rate was actually pretty good. I don't remember seeing a red dragon at all.
No, I didn't have any. I had a couple of blue dragons and axe knights, and that's about it. And final floor was pretty flawless, actually, except for the 2 armored knights right after the golem. I was kind of scared that I wasn't going to run from them.
For sure.
And
Go ahead, man.
when we have a death from Ragai on the spike tile, I think he maybe thought he had Fairy Flute, because I think he maybe went into his inventory for a moment there. But without the ability to sleep that golem, it is just a rough fight, and he couldn't quite manage to get it done. That puts Kiglis and Destiny in the driver's seat. Kiglis not yet diving, Destiny diving, but Destiny is trying to get level 15 off these enemies in the top floors.
Level 15 certainly gives you a bunch more HP, a bunch of agility. Attack power really doesn't matter right now.
And that said, the problem for him is getting there is going to let Kiglis pass him here. Neck and neck right now, but...
Looks like Ryguy's going for another level.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel safe about at 13, which, speaking of Sandcraft, how tempted were you to take another level for some extra HP?
I was actually going on level 13 and then ended up getting another level just because I got the coordinates, and I was actually deciding not to get the coordinates, and I hesitated for a little bit, and then I just decided to do it. So that gave me the extra level and the armor.
Yeah, that aggression definitely helped you this time.
Ryguy gets through his green dragon again. Not sure if he's going to grind here or grab the princess. No, he's grinding.
Yeah, chat noted he was doing this, started this about a minute ago. It looks like he's going for at least 14.
So yeah, Destiny doesn't have flute, but he's a level ahead. And doesn't have the armor either.
Yeah, I forgot that Destiny doesn't have the flute. That is really dangerous. He's already at 17 MP from getting down here.
He's only on floor 1.
So that puts Kiglis, who is now actually on the bottom floor in the clear driver's seat. That said, speaking of the devil, and he shall red dragon and sleep you. Oh no.
But wakes up and gets away. Overall, this seed has been a lot faster than I expected. I was expecting an hour and a half or so.
I found they go by pretty fast. The start certainly slowed things down a lot, but after you finally get enough HP to start taking on all those mid-tier enemies, having them really close and sword handy really starts to come in handy, I felt.
Yeah. I think, Sandcraft, one of the things you did probably better than most was you stayed in that zone and tried to fight those enemies. You didn't really push out for any other towns.
I really didn't get a chance to get away from that zone. I just kept dying, and then I finally got lucky and killed one knight, and that's all it took for me.
Yeah, everyone else would kind of try. They'd get a level, they'd try, get kicked back, get another level, try, get kicked back, whereas you kind of just stayed around. I think Destiny, after a while, stayed a lot longer than anybody else. But Ragag kept trying, kept walking around the mountains in different ways, trying to get some things.
Speaking of the other racers, Kiglis is going to make it to the Dragon Lord and take second place. And it's all down to Destiny and his 8 MP.
Here we go. Okay, let's get it 58-23.
Oh, no, Destiny did have the Fairy Flute. Okay. So this should actually manage to work out as long as he doesn't get got on the way, too. And Destiny now through the Golem. Just has to walk a hallway without a red dragon.
There's one. Hasn't put him to sleep yet.
Gets away and will now burn through potentially all of his resources, nearly.
Yep, you definitely want full health. We saw it happen too many times where you just get that ambush. I believe that's Kiglis. GG.
Well, thank you. GG to Sandcraft, wherever he might be.
GG.
And speaking of GG's, Destiny does manage to make it to the Dragon Lord to get the finish as well. We'll take third place.
And Ragai is on his dive again. Still not having the Fairy Flute, unfortunately. So, Kiglis, what do you think of that start?
I think we had a pretty good amount of agility, so trying to get out, I mean, it was tricky trying to find where to go. It felt great once I found that Scorpion Magidrake zone, and then once I kept dying over and over, it felt really terrible. But then once I did that grind up to getting outside and everything, things felt alright. So, I mean, kept dying to try to get a Magiwyvern or something in that one zone, like southwest of start. But then, yeah, it was just, bunch of deaths, until about 20-minute mark. But then once I got going, things felt really good. So.
Yeah, it was pretty much a level until you can fight those knights, the demon knights. I think there were wyverns there. Once you could start to beat them, everyone started to move it pretty quick.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to wait for... I was trying to get a Magidrake, or Magiwyvern rather, once I had sleep, but they never showed up, and then, it's like, okay, we'll just die 5 times, I guess.
Yep. And I think Destiny's in here as well. GG.
Thank you. GG, everyone.
GG, Destiny.
GG.
I'll say the same thing I did to the other two. That start was pretty fun, hey?
It sure was. I'm curious how far behind I was of breaking out of that compared to the others. I was really nervous that someone was going to crit one of the enemies in the hill tiles there, like a rogue scorpion and knight, and break through a lot faster than I was.
I think you were last or second last to break out. You did grind an awful lot, but you were really in the lower end of that. Sandcraft was grinding, I think, before anyone else. The other two seem to, grind so far, get a level, try again, get killed, grind another level, try again, whereas Sandcraft just stayed around, which you did afterwards, I think.
Yeah, I was throwing myself at the enemies trying to get lucky and run through them because I knew once I got past about 8 hill tiles was going to be another zone, and so I was hoping to be able to break through and see what the other zone was, and I was thinking, man, if that's like Wolf Lords or Droll Magi, if I can just get there, then I can start knocking out enemies and get through this and get some levels and proceed from there, but a lot of run fails on all those enemies there.
Yeah, I think, so again, Sandcraft was first, basically out of the coal area and going north to Vanilla Garenham. But once you started walking north, Sandcraft, I think like there were 3 or 4 zones you walked through and saw no enemies whatsoever. You had enough defense power.
Yeah, I pretty much just walked through the whole thing. I mean, unless I ran into Star Wyverns or the Knights and Demon Knights kind of zones.
So now Raga is on his way down to the golem again. Just went and checked the treasury and did not find the flute.
Oh, he never found the flute. Oh.
Yep, he was actually probably second, would have been second place, except the golem took him out, and looks like it took him out again. And we get the forfeit.
That's rough.
I don't quite remember where the flute was, but I know we had it fairly early.
Tablet Cave, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. I know I felt good after I found it because I'm like, oh right, I probably need this.
Me too. I felt that was the one valuable item that was on the east side of the map over by Cole and the Vanilla Staff Cave. I was thinking about returning back and checking the treasury, but went back forward and got the flute and felt okay about that. But that was about the only thing worthwhile out there. But made a difference at the end. I see Sandcraft went on level 13. Is that right? Wow, with only
14,
91
I
hit
think.
points.
We may have missed a level there. I think you said 14, Sandcraft?
Yeah, I did end up getting the extra level at the end there.
Not a whole lot more there. Wow, I was nervous about 90 hit points, so I went and got another level. It looks like Kigalus did as well.
GG, Ragai.
Yeah, I didn't like the HP on 14. And GG reggae.
Thanks, I guess. That was something. Feel like nothing I did worked, but other than that, it was something.
You were the first to armor.
It's funny, I think going to the second con ended up hurting. It seemed like it was great at the time, but as soon as I found those stones, I bailed out of there, and that was the one thing that could have made that bad, was that guy sitting at the end of Sharlock, so I assume I had to go further to find the fairy flute.
Tablet Cave, which was Vanilla Coal, I believe.
Yeah, I got to Breckenary area or something and got the last of my quest items and right on out of there, so.
Yeah,
I'm going to say, I assume there's no winning without the fairy flute there, or grinding like 5 more levels, which I wasn't really prepared to do.
I could get lucky. I think Sandcraft might have actually critted. Still had to do 3 attacks, and also had the fairy flute, of course. Sandcraft did a bunch of critting actually in this seed.
Just crit to win, yeah.
But yeah, that starting zone was like, as is normal for a Cantland start, you really can't cross that bridge. And it seemed like everyone was stuck there for a while, and then like Sandcraft got it first. I think Ragai may have been second. Ragai was definitely first to armor, which was so close the whole time.
Did anyone else get desperate enough to go down and around and check the vanilla token search spot and all of the swamp tiles underneath the Cantland start to try to find a zone or a way out? I went that way hoping for a better zone or to even navigate all the way through the mountains when I was getting desperate and got blasted by a Magic Wyvern, and that path said nope as well.
I think my problem with that path was it was going to spit us back out in the desert underneath Cole, which had... Apparently, there's a 100% Star Wyvern zone. That's all I ever saw there were Star Wyverns. So I didn't really want to go that way just to get spit out in a bunch of Star Wyverns. But I did try going around the mountains to the far southwest, though. That didn't work very much better either.
No, that one zone I found that had scorpions and magic drakeys. There's just it's like 6 forest tiles. It was 2 zones west of start that had those. That helped get me up, but then once I got to sleep, then I died a bunch. So whatever.
Yeah, I think a couple of people tried that wraparound zone. One person, I don't know if it was Ragai or Sandcraft, maybe Destiny, tried the zone across the smaller or the first bridge you come to once you get outside of Cantland, and I think down there was just as bad.
Yep, more Demon Knights and Wraith Knights, I believe. There was just no way out. It was either the Zone 1 enemies or Demon Knight type zones.
Yeah, I took like one step and across that first bridge, and it was Wraith Knight City, so got sent back, and basically it was either ghosts or knights.
I also noticed too. Some people picked up the half plate and small shield in coal. Some people didn't. I know a lot of that was not having gold. And Sandcraft did grind enough that he had, I think, 2100 when he got there. But I think Raga, you didn't pick up a shield at all, and maybe picked up half plate, but not up until Garenham, maybe.
Yeah, I think when I got to Cole, I had like $12 or something, so I was looking to see just for future reference, but I don't think I could afford anything of interest. I think I was looking for like a chainmail or something, but they didn't have that.
I didn't want it because having the agility MP build, I didn't want a giant agility gain and then having bad things happen.
I was concerned about a big agility gain as well, so I stayed near Cole and was grinding the Wyvern zone out there, and I didn't buy any gear besides a small shield until I was ready to move on from there, which was level 12, I think. At that point, I had enough money for a full plate and was repelling most of the map besides the Hawks' zones.
Yeah, and I don't remember seeing any easy enemies really, other than that first zone everybody had with the magician and the magic wyvern and a few other things. Ghost. After that, it was. I mean, you can basically walk the map and just find nothing the whole time.
Yeah, there's like the enemy encounter list on the ending screen of the randomizer. Probably at least half of the enemies that exist were never seen because it was either the Zone 0, Zone 1 enemies, and then all of the enemies that we had to face to get out, the Hawksness Zone, and the Demon Knights and Rogue Scorpions, and then after that it was repelling the entire map, so didn't see any of the middle enemies. No Droll Magi's, Druid Lords, Wolf Lords, none of that.
Indeed. I think me and Man were talking about the fact. Imagine if we had treasure guards on this week. You would have found the armor in seconds. Wouldn't have been able to get it, but you would have found it.
Yeah, it was pretty darn close. And I think, Destiny, what was your decision on not going back for it, by the way?
By the time I had cleared the map and I had deduced that the token was going to be underneath Tantagel, the treasury, and Swamp Cave was under treasury, I already had full plate, I had large shield, and I had near ghost stats, and so I wasn't going to go. I had not seen Cantlin at that time. I didn't even know if there were coordinates. I wasn't keeping track of cursed belts, so for all I knew, the armor could have been deep in Sharlock, and then even checking coordinates, the coordinate spot for all I knew could have been over by Vanilla Coal and been an absurd walk that I wouldn't have want to make anyways. So by that time, the armor wasn't even a thought. I was going to grind to get reasonable HP and make a go of it. And when I saw Sandcraft finished, I was about halfway to level 15, and I figured, well, it's the time to go. I gotta get desperate here. One person's already finished and took first. I was planning on getting whatever level I wanted to go at on the way. That was always the strategy in the back of my mind, and so I finished getting the back 500 experience or so of the level in Sharlock, trying to squeeze out as much time as I could, seeing that someone had already finished, and it was desperation point.
I can definitely confirm there were cursed belts.
I was about to say the same thing. Just so you all know, Sandcraft finished the game cursed. Not by the death necklace.
Nice.
That's the way to do it. It's more than one tournament race that we've had over recent years where Cursed Belt ends up in first place, right? That seems to be the secret.
It's the championship belt.
I mean, cursed belt only matters if you die, right?
For sure. We were all watching and we said, oh no, I used it instead of the rainbow drop. And as soon as we noticed, we said, oh, he needs to win this now because Breckenary is a long walk.
That's really scary, especially going on under 100 hit points. Wow. Gutsy move there at the end there, Sandcraft. Had to make it even more dramatic than you already did with the cursed belt. Well done, man.
Yeah, I was sweating bullets the whole time. I was like, oh, we got to get this done.
So, are any of you guys looking forward to week 4?
Is anybody?
I don't even know what it is.
It's chaos.
Random percent, I believe, which is,
everything. Oh yeah, that one. Okay.
yeah, basically everything's tri-stated. I like it because every seed is different. You're not going to have a lot of the same thing every time. Every single seed could have a completely different combination of flags, but that's also mentally taxing to keep track of every seed. Okay, is this on? Is this off? And seed bleed of, oh man, what was... Did I see random chest locations on or off? Am I checking the right stuff? And yeah, it's a... I find it a mentally demanding flag set, but it's definitely interesting, and every seed is different, so it'll be fun in that regard.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that basically half the seeds are gonna have open Charlock, so it's kind of not worth looking at all the caves and find Charlock first, see if it's open, and then go from there.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks it's hard to practice for because you don't know what you're going to get, really. Good news, we've turned Stair Shuffle and Rotate Dungeons off for this one. That won't be until the playoffs.
That's good news.
Now, in saying that, we've got a race on Sunday that will have Stair Shuffle and Rotated Dungeons, and I think random chest locations as well. That'll be over in the FF1R channel, I think. But that's not a tournament or a league race. That's just a memorial race for one of our past runners. Either way, today, this has been the second race, and I think there's a third race happening soon. Or already started. I'm not sure. It's not being restreamed.
I believe it started on the hour, so it's 30 minutes in about.
Right, so that was Artorias 308, Big Slabu, Scarlet Shadow, and Chad Burt. Yeah, only 2 restreamers tonight, so this is as far as we could get. So you can go cheer them on. I think we're also going to raid over to NIS Cardinality when we're done here. Any last words, guys?
I just want to say GG to everybody, and thanks for sticking it out for a tough seed.
Yeah, GG's to everyone, and thanks again for putting on these restreams. They're always great, so thank you.
Yeah, GG. Thanks for putting everything on. Thanks to the crew and everybody.
GG, Sandcraft, Kiggles, Ryguy, thank you to all the volunteers tonight, and for Kiggles and Ryguy, I'll have to redeem myself partially here with Dragon Warrior 2 randomizer races. Finishing sub-hour would be pretty good. That's a lot better than I normally do in our DW2R races. So we'll see if that can continue or if it's just DWR.
All right, so on that, thank you to RPG Limit Break for hosting us tonight. Again, we're going to raid over to NIS Cardinality shortly. Our trackers tonight have been Beta and Spike. Restreamer was High Spirits. I am CyberDark86. I was joined by Mand. And we'll see you guys for the next race.